Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück hier bei Chicken Police, wo der Fall zunehmend interessanter wird. Und wir haben letzte Folge herausgefunden, wofür unsere Karte steht, die wir da gefunden haben mit den Initialen SN. Sie bedeutet Sweltering Nile. Wir haben Louis gefragt und der hat uns Interessantes erzählt, dass das hier zum Beispiel ein Edelbordell ist. Und dann gehen wir jetzt mal dahin. Wir können leider keine andere Lokation mehr anschauen. Leider. Ich hätte gerne den Kiosk noch besucht. Geht leider nicht. Ich hoffe, wir bekommen die Chance gleich nochmal. So, jetzt gehen wir erstmal zum Sweltering Nile.
To Marty's delight, we were heading toward the most exclusive brothel in Clawville. The separatists and those opposing the monarchy hated the place, just like they hated everything that supported interracial relations and peaceful coexistence of all species. So the place wasn't just a brothel, it was a symbol. But just like a brothel is not a worthy symbol, Clawville failed to turn out the way it was intended.
Well, here we are. The kingdom of long legs, silky skin, and fluttering lashes. We've arrived.
Calm down, Marty. Watch your blood pressure.
Guten Tag, die Damen. Ich habe eine Errungenschaft bekommen. Umleitung. Schließe das erste Kapitel ab. Das ich leider noch nicht abgeschlossen hätte, weil da noch die ein oder andere Lokation war, wo ich gerne noch hingegangen wäre. Das finde ich jetzt ein bisschen blöd. Aber im nächsten Update, so wie ich das verstanden habe, soll man verschiedene Spielstände haben können und die dann auch abspeichern können. So haben wir dann wahrscheinlich dann eine Chance, nochmal da zurückzukehren. So, jetzt muss ich mal kurz gucken. Jetzt habe ich doch hier irgendwo Codex vielleicht bekommen. Nee. Hinweise? Ich habe doch hier gerade irgendwas bekommen. Da stand doch eine 1. Naja, dann halt nicht. Gut, dann mit der können wir reden, die können wir anschauen, die können wir auch nur anschauen. Und dann gucken wir erstmal von links nach rechts.
Elegant, just like Laszlo said.
Louis.
What do you think could be the old rabbit's type? Fluffy tails, furry ears, a raspy tongue?
Oh, for the love of all the gods, stop it.
But just think about it.
Please shut up, Marty.
How young is this girl? Damn.
This place is clucked up.
Do you think they're forced to do this?
Marty, we're not here for that. Just for the information we need.
Yeah, but you know what, Sonny? We're fortunate to be able to choose what we do with our lives, huh?
You are, Marty. You have the chance to work with Santino Featherland. Me, on the other hand.
Aha.
A fine young gal, that's for sure.
Gut, ob das jetzt Zwangsprostitution ist, gut, dafür sind wir jetzt tatsächlich nicht hier.
That woman, she's familiar.
Do you think it's her? The broad from the Bloody New Year's?
God damn it, Marty, do you have to say it out loud? It gives me goosebumps.
Chicken bumps, more like.
Anyway, I don't know if it's really her. I always get confused by the exotic ones, but yeah, maybe.
Honestly, it gives me the creeps.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, she's a very attractive gal, huh? And this photo is really something. Very, artistic.
You call that art?
This is what real art is about, Sonny. It's beautiful and mysterious.
Well, you should have seen the picture on Natasha's wall. Your heart would have skipped a beat for sure.
Wait, what picture? Talk to me.
Nothing. Forget it. It's not important.
Hey, you're not getting off that easily. I want to know.
No, my friend. You have to earn that.
You're a real bastard, you know?
I know, Marty. Maybe it is really her.
Gut, dann haben wir noch eine Lemurin.
She's what I call an exotic beauty.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Hey, every animal's the most beautiful thing in the world to someone.
Yeah, you're right.
Oof, I don't know about you, but I go weak in the knees for stripes.
Please, Marty, I don't want to know. And I don't care. Keep it to yourself. And let's get out of here quickly.
Can't I even talk to you anymore?
You can. Ask about the weather, or how's my lower back. Those two are even connected if you want to know.
Yeah, old fart.
Beauty is relative.
Genau. Und jetzt muss ich mal kurz gucken. Bei Sprache, nein. Videoeinstellungen, Lesegeschwindigkeit normal. Ne, was ist schnell? Weil da ging gerade der Text ein bisschen zu langsam. So, die Füchsin und den Vogel.
Yeesh, that guy's stare gives me the
Ja,
creeps.
jetzt besser.
I can see why.
I've always told myself that birds are weird.
What did you just say?
Huh? What? Me? Nothing?
Jetzt wird der Text direkt
Is
eingeblendet,
he a
ne?
bouncer or a guest? I'd rather not ask.
Okay. Was haben wir hier noch Schönes? Die Bilder. Das sind sehr schöne Bilder.
Holy fur. You swallowed so hard, the whole place shook.
Are you kidding me? I've never seen anything like this before. Is this even
What?
legal?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. Vice?
You really must be joking. Vice in Clawville?
Okay, I was pulling your leg. But still, it's a little hot in here.
Well, cool down, Marty. Don't even look over there. Remember Laura, your wonderful girlfriend, whom you love more than anything.
You don't need to tell me. All I'm thinking about is her.
With a hatchet in her hand.
More like my nuggets.
That's...
Die Nuggets, Alter. Ach, das ist einfach großartig. Das Spiel ist großartig.
Laura.
That's it, Marty. Just slowly turn away from the pictures.
Laura.
That's it, Marty.
Okay.
Laura.
That's it.
Ah, okay, das ist dasselbe alles, ne? Ja.
That's...
Ah, großartig.
I don't even know. Good gods.
Hey, keep it down, Marty.
I see it now. Of all that's furry.
Yes, it's very furry. Or more like, shaggy. This picture, this one's really artistic for a change.
Oh, warum krieg ich jetzt Schluck auf, verdammt?
This picture,
Ah, scheiße. Wir gucken uns mal erst die Hinweise an. Beziehungsweise die Personen, Marty. Der Anblick von Deborah hat Marty einen ziemlichen Schock versetzt. Das kann ich verstehen. Ich wusste, dass dies kein Routinefall werden würde, aber in so einer Situation wollte ich den alten Federwisch bestimmt nicht hineinziehen. Marty ist mit Laura, einer wunderschönen, warmherzigen Marty ist mit Laura, einem wunderschönen, warmherzigen Raubtier. Ich weiß nicht, was sie in Marty sieht, aber er hat wirklich verdammtes Glück, dass so eine großartige Frau für ihn da ist. Okay, das hatten wir schon mal. Und da sieht man an, der alte Rammler scheint sich gerne die Zeit auf luxuriöse Art zu vertreiben. Ach so, das war der neue Hinweis. Okay. Dann haben wir noch irgendwas. Da ist eine Tür, da gehen wir gleich durch.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Would you be so kind as to help me?
With pleasure, ma'am.
The zipper always comes down on my dress. Would you kindly zip it back up?
Can I, Sonny?
what am I, your mother? Do what you want, for God's sake.
Happy to help, ma'am.
Oh, what a gallant young man.
Clucking lords.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
If you'd
I will be, ma'am.
Ah, man muss den in der richtigen Geschwindigkeit hochziehen.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Marty, ma'am. Marty McChicken.
Thank you, darling Marty. I'm much obliged.
Anytime, ma'am. Anytime.
May I invite you gentlemen for a drink, perhaps?
No, thank you. We're in a hurry.
Oh.
May I invite...
No, thank you.
Oh.
Okay. Gut, dann gehen wir mal zur Rezeptionistin.
I think she must be the receptionist.
Bravo, Mr. Detective.
Why'd you have to be like that all the time?
Well, sometimes I seriously can't decide if you've become totally stupid over the years, or it just entertains you to act that way.
Well, you know, that's a good question.
That's exactly what I mean. Maybe she knows something about Deborah, or the card that brought us here.
My name is Day-Night Diamond. Welcome to the Sweltering Nile, gentlemen.
Miss Diamond, I'm Sonny, and this is my partner, Marty.
If I may, miss, you have a beautiful name and exceptionally wonderful stripes.
Marty, not now.
Oh, thank you very much.
Please excuse him. He doesn't visit places like this very often. Me neither, to be honest.
Oh, nothing to worry about, gentlemen. There's a first time for everyone.
You're absolutely right.
We're just interested in a certain lady called Deborah.
Deborah. We don't have any employees by that name right now, but if you want, any of our girls would love to be Deborah for a night.
No. Excuse me, you misunderstand. She doesn't work here.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
It's kind of confusing, but let me try to explain.
Please, I'm at your service. I'll gladly answer any of your questions.
You hear that, Sonny? Any questions?
Shut up, Marty.
Okay, Entschuldigung, dass gerade das Teamspeak-Geräusch gerade reinkam. Der Anstupser, tut mir leid. Okay, wir nehmen kurz die Personen hier. Diamond. Hübsche Zebra-Empfangsdame am Schalter des Nile. Name Deborah Diamond. Zebra. Geschlecht weiblich. Wunderschön, ruhig und professionell. Höchstwahrscheinlich eine Kurtisane. Gut, hat man noch einen Hinweis oder so? Kodex noch? Die Nacht, die Sonnys und Martys Leben für immer prägen sollte. Sie begann mit einem seltsamen Anruf, gefolgt von dem unerwarteten Besuch einer Tigerin, und sie endete in einem Bruthaus, wo die beiden schließlich Zeuge eines nie dagewesenen Massakers werden sollten. Sonny wurde direkt in die Sache verwickelt, als eine seltsame Gestalt mit Zylinder seine Familie ins Fadenkreuz fasste. Oh. Allerdings gelang es dem Übeltäter, sich einer Festnahme zu entziehen. Tatsächlich wurde der Fall nie offiziell beigelegt, aber unter dem Druck des Generalstaatsanwalts sahen sich die Zeitungen dazu gezwungen, einen glorreichen Triumph der Chicken Police zu vermelden. Diese glückselige Lüge bildete also den Anfangspunkt ihrer Legende. Für die Legende. Oh. Okay. Das erklärt einiges. Gut, wir befragen sie mal. Auf die Uhr gucken, oder wir haben noch ein bisschen Zeit.
I wouldn't want to offend you, far from it, but it's evident you're from the police, even without this.
Is it that obvious?
No, it isn't, but, you know, here in the Nile, we have a keen eye for this kind of thing.
Right. I understand, ma'am.
So, dann Louis C. Hemsworth.
Do you know a gentleman named Louis C. Hayworth?
Of course I do. Mr. Hayworth is a regular guest at our establishment.
I see. How regular, if I may ask?
I can't give you any information about that. House policy.
We have that too. It's called the law, ma'am.
If you have any questions of that nature, please come back with a warrant.
Touche.
Ja, hat sie gut gekontert.
Does this list mean anything to you?
This? I'm not sure. No, nothing.
Don't you see some familiar names on there?
I do, but everybody knows those animals. Personally, I have no contact with any of them.
I see. Oh, thank you. Have you been working here long, miss?
Almost 5 years, sir.
And do you like your job?
Very much so. I think it's only worth doing anything if you honestly enjoy it.
You hear that, Sonny? You should take that advice.
I'm on it, Marty. I'm trying to get myself fired if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and me too.
Collateral damage. Look, she gave this to us. The girl named Deborah, the one we asked you about.
I see.
Do you know what this is?
Of course. It's a membership card.
Was this person a regular here?
If this belonged to her, then yes. I can check for you. Please, the ladies will entertain you while you wait. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Much obliged.
Okay. Die Damen? Müssen wir jetzt hier durch?
I apologize for the wait. Please, come with me, gentlemen.
So you were successful.
My mistress, Madame Zavas, would like to meet you.
You mean that, Madame Savas?
As far as I know, there's only one of her, so yes,
Please, miss, take us to her.
with pleasure.
Madame Zavas was a legend in Clawville. Her name was known all over the wilderness. She's an avid royalist, former member of the Council of 12, spy master, assassin, businesswoman, and courtesan. To be honest, I didn't even know she was still alive. She's no spring chicken, that's for sure. She could also be my mother, or maybe my grandmother. First Ibn Wessler, now her. Honestly, tonight it wouldn't surprise me if His Majesty Hector III didn't grace me with his presence.
Okay, das ist angeblich eine sehr angesehene Dame. Auftragsmörderin, okay. Wir gucken uns erstmal die Hinweise an. Hier, Madame Savas, die legendäre Spionin und Kurtisan, betreibt das Bordell. Wir sollten definitiv vorsichtig vorgehen. Sie hatte einen bestimmten Ruf und der in der ganzen Wildnis bekannt ist. Guck, wir haben jetzt ganz schön viele Menschen hier schon getroffen, ne? So, Madame Savas, Krokodil, Geschlecht weiblich, Merkmale, ihr Lächeln ist falsch, ihre Geschichte falsch, aber die Gefahr ist echt. Madame Savas war Spionin, Kurtisan und schon eine Legende, als sie noch ein kleines Küken? Sagt man zu Krokodilbabys Küken? Viele Legenden ranken sich um ihre Schönheit und ihre tödliche Skrupellosigkeit. Die Zeit ist auch für sie nicht stillgestanden, aber sie scheint nach wie vor so tödlich zu sein, wie die Legenden behaupten. Inzwischen ist sie die Betreiberin eines Luxusbordells, des Sweltering Nile. Nile ist doch der Nil, auf Deutsch. Gut, dann schauen wir uns erstmal hier um.
Interesting pieces.
Do you think so? It's the art of my people.
Crocodiles?
There are many kinds of crocodile in the wilderness, Mr. Featherland. This is the art of the Nilenites.
Ah, hence the name, the Sweltering Nile.
It's a river, Mr. Featherland. My ancestors lived by this river a long time ago.
Ah, interesting.
Thank you.
Beautiful pieces for sure.
Is that the time already?
Have you noticed your clock's not working?
How observant you are. That clock isn't meant to show the time, it's a decoration. A memento.
It's beautiful.
Indeed.
Aha.
There's something weird about that clock.
Ja, hier unten, ne? Aber da können wir gerade nichts machen. Allerlei Bücher. Oh je, Mine.
There are books here on quite a variety of topics. There are books here on...
Tod des Pferdes, sieben
There are
Splitter
books.
meiner Seele.
There are books. That's quite... There are books here on...
Was?
That's quite a wide range of interest.
Ja.
That's quite a...
Aber hier können wir gerade nichts machen.
That's quite...
Nee. Na gut, dann betrachten wir nochmal das Bild.
What a painting! Congratulations, ma'am.
Marty.
Yes. It's beautiful indeed. It's more than 40 years old. You know, I was considered pretty then.
Oh, don't say that. You still look great, ma'am.
Thank you. It feels good, but no. There's no need for lies. Those days are long gone. Every age has its truth and its beauty. For me, beauty is not in the looks anymore.
I agree, ma'am.
Ja, das ist wirklich ein schönes Bild.
Yes. This is the Zavas from the legends. Yeah.
Gut. Oh, Entschuldigung, wieder rausgeklickt. Gut, dann reden wir mal mit der Dame.
So she is the legendary Madame Zavas. Let me introduce myself properly, ma'am.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the chicken police is always one step ahead of the chicken police.
Thank you. That's flattering.
May I ask what you are looking for exactly? Here on this night?
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague.
Belongs to an old friend of ours, whom we haven't seen for a long time here.
And the name?
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's confidential information. In my line of work, discretion is everything.
Well, you know, in our line of work, the law is above everything.
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is also above everything. But, as I said, discretion.
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless, but now it's murder.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful for your help.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm going to answer to the best of my knowledge. As long as you're not wading through muddy waters.
Fortunately, I swim very well for a chicken.
I swim well, too.
Ja, jetzt labern uns sich voll hier. Neue Funktion befragen. Insel. Worte-Kodex. Haben wir jetzt was Neues bekommen? Hier, bei den Nileniten handelt es sich um eine Kultur des Alternums, die mittlerweile untergegangen ist. Sie herrschten über ein ausgedehntes, mächtiges Reich, dessen Zentrum sich im tropischen Südwesten der Wildnis befand. Ein berühmter Nachfahre dieser Kultur ist die legendäre Madame Zavas, ihres Zeichen anerkannte Meisterspionin und Kurtisane. Ja, das haben wir jetzt schon geschnallt. Gut.
So, gentlemen, what do you want to know?
Let's see.
So.
As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable guests have one of these. And our employees, of course.
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me if this card belonged to a guest or an employee?
No.
I thought so. Yes, thank you. Louis Hayworth is a good friend of mine. It surprises me that he's a regular here.
You wouldn't believe our clientele. You would be shocked.
No doubt. Louis, does he come here often?
Not so often.
Thank you for the vague answer,
Ja, aber
man.
das sagt sie jetzt, oder
The
was?
mystery is thrilling. The thrill is life itself.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
Tell me, have you ever seen this list?
I have.
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes, but I can't tell you more about it. No,
Discretion is key.
absolutely.
Do you know Natasha Katsenko personally?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective, quick-tempered, fierce. Yes, fierce.
Thank you. Very useful.
This place isn't just our home with the girls. It's a sanctuary.
Really? How?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago. Unity, love, freedom.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't. My girlfriend's a predator.
Really? I'm glad to hear it.
Gut, jetzt können wir die Dame befragen. Machen wir das jetzt noch mit? Oder in der nächsten Folge? Ach komm, wir machen es jetzt so schnell mit.
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word
Ja,
with
das
a
wird jetzt
grain of
lustig.
salt.
Okay, was steckt hinter der Legende von Frau Zavas? Wer sind sie wirklich?
Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
Also sagen Sie, waren Sie wirklich Spionin im Auftrag des Königs? Ist es heutzutage nicht gefährlich, Royalistin zu sein? Trügerisch sind die Eindrücke und Überlebenskünstlerin. Puh. Dann nehme ich mal das hier, oder?
Isn't it dangerous being a royalist nowadays?
You know, Mr. Featherland, those that are genuinely dedicated never care about danger. That's something you must know even better than I.
Do you think it's my loyalty that motivates me the most? If you do, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Maybe you're not loyal to the police, Mr. Featherland, but you are to your own principles and ideals. Am I right?
That's true, but you're avoiding the question. Why did you stay in the king's employment after the scandals that are making half the city riot? What makes you still believe so much in the institution of monarchy?
You know, I always adapt, but only to a degree where I still don't have to give up myself and my ideals for the sake of survival.
You'd rather die then?
Maybe it would seem too dramatic or even romantic to you, but yes, exactly.
I'm sorry to doubt you, but I've always thought your kind was rather compromised.
Do you mean spies or crocodiles?
Spies, of course.
I must disappoint you, but there aren't many groups as loyal and unwavering as the spies, Mr. Featherland.
If you're telling me, ma'am, I believe you.
Why
did you decide to open a brothel?
You know, this place used to be an orphanage. Then after the Great Avian Plague, a hatchery. Then, young mothers lived here who had nowhere else to go. That's when I took over.
Young mothers and prostitutes. That feels like a sharp turn.
No, it didn't happen like that, of course. The process took 20 years, but one thing remains the same. I wanted to help girls who had nothing and no one. To help them.
And this was the best you could do, helping them sell their bodies.
You see things very superficially, Mr. Featherland. We're a family who helped each other even at the worst of times, took care of each other, and what's most important, survived. Yes, survive, no matter the cost.
And it's the cherry on top of the most treasured secrets of the rich and famous.
Very insightful, Mr. Featherland. There's truth to that. Knowledge is power, as they say. And we know a lot about powerful animals that could be used as weapons. Or the opposite. That could avert a war.
Alter, die ist ja hart wie ein Panzer. Wenn ich erraten könnte, wem die Karte gehört, würden Sie es mir bestätigen.
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right.
Oh.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question, Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right.
Ach, krass.
What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light.
Oh ja.
Savas is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her.
Sie werden in der ganzen Stadt als gefährlich angesehen. Warum ist das so? Haben Sie versucht, sie nach ihrem Vorbild zu formen? Sie wollten sie beschützen. Wovor? Wieso nahmen sie sie auf? Erkannten sie sich vielleicht selbst in Natascha? Ich würde da gerade das nehmen, ne?
Why did you take her in? Maybe you saw yourself in Natasha.
She was only 17 when she knocked on the rear entrance of the brothel on an unusually cold, rainy night. I opened the door myself.
Was Natasha alone?
Yes, completely alone. Her left arm was slashed with an ugly wound, and she was frozen to the bone, barefoot, only a thin nightgown on her.
Did she tell you what happened to her?
After I brought her into the house, warmed her up, and changed her into new clothes, that was the first thing I asked. But no, she didn't tell me. We became very good friends, but I still don't know what happened to her and where she came from, or how she knew about this place and the rear entrance.
And you weren't bothered by all those secrets?
That would have been very hypocritical of me, don't you think? No, it didn't bother me. I make a living out of secrets, Mr. Featherland.
I see.
Haben Sie eine Ahnung davon, woher Natascha kam vor Clawville?
Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stavonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stavonian border. What happens in that country, no one knows.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me.
Okay. Haben Sie noch Kontakt zu ihr? Kam Ihnen der Gedanke, die Beziehung zwischen Natascha und Eben auszunutzen? Warum ließ sie mit Wessler gehen?
Why did you let her leave with Wessler?
What else could I have done? Wessler is a handsome, rich, powerful animal, and Natasha fell in love with him. If anything, I know you can't stand in the way of a woman in love. There's nothing more dangerous, Mr. Featherland.
I've been in this job for more than 20 years, but I haven't heard that one before.
You see? You learn something new every day if you have an open mind. Yes.
Och Mann. Ich glaube, die Befragung muss ich nochmal machen. Waren Sie wütend, als sie verließ? Befürchten Sie das? Warum hat sie das mal gesehen? Oder sei was?
Were you angry at her for leaving? Afraid she might blab secrets?
Wouldn't you like to hear that? Yes, it would be a classic. The controlling crocodile obsessed with power can't take losing her favorite protege and seeks revenge.
I'm not saying it happened like that, but it could have.
Now, Mr. Featherland, you're smarter than that. You know very well that's not how it happened.
Maybe I just wanted to hear it from you. Still, I feel like you're not telling me everything.
Of course I'm not, Mr. Featherland.
Oh, ist die anstrengend.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Don't mention it.
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do, because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime.
Oh, was ab. Oh. Natascha arbeitete im Bordell Sweltering Nile, bevor Eben Wessler sich dort entdeckte und herausholte. Jetzt überlege ich gerade, mache ich das jetzt nochmal? Ich weiß es nicht. Ich versuche es nochmal, ich rush schnell durch und dann gucken wir mal in der nächsten Folge, ne? ob es das dann besser geworden ist, keine Ahnung. Also, ich bedanke mich fürs Zuschauen. Ich wünsche euch einen schönen Tag. Es wird echt spannend gerade. Wir haben jetzt leider aus der Madame Saywas nicht viel rausbekommen. Wir schauen dann mal weiter in der nächsten Folge und bis dahin wünsche ich euch eine schöne Zeit. Haut rein und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.